Dear Self. Hey buddy, it's me, Peter. So, let's talk about you. You've been officially out of the Navy for a month now, and you've done a bang-up job at reacclimating to civilian life. You've been sleeping in like a champion, the obligatory facial hair has become well established, and you keep finding yourself sweeping your hair out of your face. Bravo Zulu, shipmate. But all is not well in paradise. I couldn't help but notice that over the past month or so, you've been getting a little more tired, a little more anxious, a little more restless. Hell, you're putting on weight again that you just celebrated getting rid of this past January. But don't freak out. In case you forgot, let me remind you that you just made one of the biggest transitions in your life. Military life did some good things for you. You found stability and learned the value of finding and following a routine that you just didn't have before. And it was great, because you were always held accountable. This worked for you because you don't like letting others down. Plus, let's face it, it's easy to stay accountable when not following a routine means you end up in prison. Ah, the joys of an effective incentive. But now it's just you. You won't be considered UA if you don't start showing up to school. The feds won't send out the dogs to try and track you down if your teacher doesn't hear from you in 2 hours. Sure, you might be missed, but it'll be an afterthought or a mark in a book somewhere. Yes, if you really wanted to, you could hop on a plane today and fly to another country, and nobody would even bat an eyelash. In short, you're an adult, and you do what you want. This is going to take some adjusting to, I know, so I'm here to help. Let's think about what you can do to get back into the groove of things, because you have a lot of really good ideas, and big goals and dreams, but all of this newfound freedom can be a little overwhelming. Remember when you were at DLI studying Chinese for about 12 hours a day? Remember what you did to stay sane? You'd get up at 5:30 a.m., you'd get ready for your day and have a good breakfast. You'd get to class early to cram for the vocab quizzes, and then 7 hours later, you'd get out of class. You'd go to the gym for about an hour to an hour and a half each day and just burn energy. And then you'd start your evening study routine, and it felt great. By the time you went to bed, you were physically and mentally exhausted, and you would sleep the best 7.5 hours of your life every night, waking up the next morning feeling like $1,000,000. And you can do this all again. Just make it happen. But therein lies the trouble. Make it happen. I can tell you to make it happen over and over again. You tell yourself that all the time. And yet, it doesn't. I don't know how you're going to make this work, but I know you can. You've done it before, and you can do it again. So, how are we going to do this? Well, to start, maybe cleaning house a little bit would not be a bad thing. The sink needs emptying and the beer bottles and frozen pizza boxes could use disposing of. And your living room? Well, all those Amazon boxes need breaking down and depositing into the trash receptacle because, it never hurts to not live in squalor. And it's a lot easier to keep things clean when that's where you're starting from. Next, force yourself to actually get up early. Now, maybe not 5:30, let's not be abusive after all, but 6:30 would do just fine. Put your alarm clock in the living room so you have to actually get out of bed in the morning just to shut it off. Hell, wrap it in your workout clothes the night before. You know that alarm clock app you have on your phone that won't let you turn it off unless you've done some math problems? Yeah, maybe it's time to bring that back. Next, gym first thing in the morning, before breakfast or coffee or anything. There is nothing on the internet that you absolutely have to do before 8 a.m. Not if you actually start doing your homework the night before like you should be. You don't have a bad diet, you're just gaining weight because your metabolism's dropping. And that's because you're not as active as you could be. Once you're done in the gym, go home, take a shower, and start doing Khan Academy again. I know you haven't touched it in a few weeks, and I know you're disappointed in yourself about that, so do something about it. And then, once all this stuff that you need to do is done, do your thing on the internet for a bit. Then skip the bus and walk to school, and walk home. Do homework. Sure, don't forget to eat and have some fun, but do what you need to do first, and save fun for afterwards. Remember, the whole point of all of this is that you need to establish yourself a routine. And now that you're more or less retired, at least for the next year or so, you need to do these things for yourself above all. Not anyone else, but you. Really, that's who you should have been doing all of this for the entire time anyways. No, it's not going to be easy, but it's necessary. The Navy gave you all the tools and all the experience to know what works for you. So now let's just make this happen. You can do it. I believe in you. Much love, Peter.